A conversation on families. We know that families are the backbone of every society, and societies and communities get to make a country. So if we take care of the family, then we do take care of the entire country. And we're going to be talking about building strong families and intergenerational solidarity. And joining me for that conversation on my immediate left, we have Nancy Sironga, who is a child protection specialist and the national coordinator, Save the Children International Child Protection. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. And then we also have Jimmy Njao Kamandi. He's the Deputy Director, Social Development. Welcome to the program.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure to have the two of you on board. Now let's get into this conversation, right, on families. When you talk about strong families, how does that look like? What exactly are we looking at? If I may start with you, Jimmy.
When we talk about strong families, we are talking about families with values. Families that are able to work together, families that are cohesive, families that can be relied on, families that are thriving, families that are ready to work for the country with positive values. Yes.
Yeah, so that's what makes a strong family.
A strong family.
Yeah.
Where a family where we are able to support each other as members of that family. Yes,
Yeah.
regardless of whether you are young, you are old, even people with disability. We belong to one family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, just maybe to you, Nancy, just looking at the situation in the country and, you know, from where you stand, where do you feel we are in terms of just ensuring that our families are okay?
Thank you. To begin with, families in this country are going through a very difficult time. We have challenges as families. The family has changed over time. So you find the way we used to have extended families, the structure of the family has changed. And now we are more into nuclear families. And this presents a big challenge because we do not have the traditional support that we used to have within families. And also looking at the situation of children, we know that children are going through a lot of violence. And in the studies that have been done in Kenya, like in 2019, there was a survey on violence against children. And it showed that there are worrying statistics about children being exposed to violence. We had statistics of like 49 point something % of girls and 51.9% of boys who had undergone violence in their childhood.
That's a very huge number.
Yeah, it's a very worrying statistics.
Yeah.
And the even more worrying is that the perpetrators of that violence were at the family level. At the home, they were the parents and caregivers. So that indicates to you that children are not safe, families are not working together, parents and families are not relating well. And that is why, as government and as Save the Children and other actors, we are trying to promote families that are violence-free, violence where corporal punishment is not the alternative of discipline. And so to make sure that the families are beginning to speak to one another, children and parents are communicating, and if there are conflicts, we are able to resolve them in the right way. So I would say families in Kenya are going through many, many challenges, even speaking about the economics of the country. Many families are not able to put food on the table. They are not able, they are not able to meet the basic needs of the families at the households level. So these are some of the challenges that we are seeing within the families in Kenya, but we are saying it's not all lost. We have an opportunity to rectify that, to ensure that children and families are more nurturing, and families are responding to the needs of children, and parents and children are able to communicate so that they live in a harmonious way. Yeah.
Maybe from your point of view, Jimmy, what exactly is ailing our families, and how are we able to just work towards averting that?
As highlighted by Nancy, The challenges are not unique in Kenya.
Yeah.
It is something that is happening all over the world. That's why the United Nations established this day, United Nations Day of Families, that is celebrated every 15th of May to celebrate our families, to come together as nations and share our experiences.
Yeah.
Maybe what is happening in Europe, what is happening in Africa, and share those experiences and know how we can be able to overcome these challenges. From the point of view here in Kenya, the government worked very hard, and we have a very progressive policy that was launched last year by Her Excellency, Mama Lecho. And the main aim of this policy is to promote our families, protect our families from all those issues highlighted by Madam Nancy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All is not lost. We have something to celebrate our families. Yes, we have some positive things, attributes from our families. We cannot say our families are going to end today or tomorrow. We have at least something to celebrate from our families. That's why we will be meeting tomorrow to tell the country, to tell the world that we have something positive to celebrate about the families.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, even while you were beginning, when you were just describing what a strong family is or how it looks like, I'm sorry about that. You mentioned, you know, values and just how essential values are. You know, if we can just get into what exactly are these values that makes a family healthy.
Values, first of all, is discipline. A society that is not disciplined is not a society.
Yeah.
Another thing that we see, we as community or as a society, we have a role to play to inculcate culture.
Yeah.
We say we give our children, one, wings to fly, and roots. That is culture and education. They miss those two, then we are done as families.
Yeah.
Roots are our traditions. And we talk about traditions, we talk about the positive things that we get from one generation to another. About education, those are the wings. We are here because we have wings. We were taken to school. That's the reason we are here. I'll be able to celebrate our families.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I may add, we know that families are the first schools in life.
Yes.
That is where you get to learn the values. That is where the values that he's talking about, that is where you get to learn about respect for other people, how to form relationships and how to respect those relationships. And we are saying that all these values then contribute to that strong families where there is respect between children, between the old people, that every generation has something to offer to the next generation. If you remember in the past, we used to have the grandmothers narrating stories and inculcating values to their children. So we are saying that we can still have these intergenerational dialogues, talk to each other. What is it that children and young people can give to the older generation? Young people have innovations, like in the digital era now, they have innovations. The old people have the wisdom. So we are not working in isolation. And this is what this day, tomorrow, seeks to highlight, that we can start from the young people to the old people, and we have something to exchange.
Yeah. And even as you're on that, you know, maybe just how exactly can we actively get the little ones involved in all of this? You know, sometimes, as you mentioned, the children can be forgotten. You know, you can forget one generation, maybe the youngest of generations in the family. You know, just how well can we actively make sure that everyone is involved, that even the children are not left behind?
Yeah, that's a very good question, because there have been debates on involvement of children, child rights, and people say that the NGOs are spoiling the children. But what we are saying is that even the children have a voice. Even at the family level, children have a voice. They can express what they don't like. They can express what they like. And if we are able to communicate, and as Jimmy will be talking about the National Positive Parenting Program, one of the topics that is in that parenting program is communication. So how do you communicate with your child? How do you listen to your child? When they tell you they don't like a school, how do you respond to that? So we are saying that even children have a voice. And our Children's Act has that provision in that African children have rights and responsibilities. And the responsibility for children is to respect their parents and elders, to promote good or positive cultural values, and to participate, like you see in the drama festivals, how children participate. They are speaking out on issues that affect them. And as civil society, we really try to amplify this voice so that children issues, they participate even in national dialogues on issues that affect them. So we say that children also have something to say. We need to provide the platform or the environment for them to speak to us, and we need to listen to them, because your child can be speaking to you and you don't listen. So we need to speak to them, we need to listen to them and respond to their needs, because they have something to contribute. Because we find that where children and parents are talking to each other, they are respecting each other, then there is mutual understanding, there is mutual respect, and the values now begin to be inculcated in the child.
And it's very important to have them involved, especially now. We have a generation that is very vocal, you know, from the Gen Z to the Gen Alphas. They're very vocal, so for sure they need to be listened to. Now, I will allow you, Jimmy, to just talk to us about the program, the National Positive Parenting Program. What is it all about?
National Positive Parenting is such an amazing program, and I will urge every parent or a caregiver to join. It's a very good program. The program has 15 topics that will last for around 15 weeks, or because parents are working. We allow them, maybe they can be in that program for 3 to 6 months, depending on the environment, locality. We take them through those 15 sessions. They are called sessions. And the first sessions, and I like Madam Nancy to talk about it, it's about safeguarding. We talk, whom are we safeguarding? Are we safeguarding children? Are we safeguarding parents, the caregiver? The next, we talk about relationship. How do we relate as a family? That is about communication, about communication. Then after communicating, we ask ourselves, as parents, we are working day in, day out without resting. We are supposed to take care of ourselves. After taking care of ourselves, what are we supposed then to do as a family? We need to have time out to pray together as a family. We also inculcate the culture that we said about values, discipline in a family. Then we ask ourselves the role of a man, the role of male caregivers. As a man, men are nowhere nowadays. Hata wengine utasikia wanakuja nyumbani wanauliza mtoto wake, mama yenu anawaambianga mimi ni nani? He's not sure, hata kama watoto wanamuelewa. The role of men. Another thing we talk is about nutrition. Health family, we need to eat well. And lastly, after doing all these things, we come together as a family. Now, there is good communication. You're able to go out as a family.
You're able to solve your disputes
well together as a family. Then we have to sit together. We talk money matters. We are able to set our own budget as a family now. Yes, that is our last session.
That's really nice. So, so where are these sessions? Is it something that is online? Is it something that you come and participate actively? For someone who's watching and they would love to be part of such.
No. We don't offer them online for now. We want to do them uko kwa vijiji, kwa wazazi, mahali wako. We do them there. Right now, we have been able to reach at least 7,000 parents and caregivers in 10 counties. We're working very hard to, at least by 2027, to reach over 2 million. And we're sure we'll get there with the help of our partners and other stakeholders.
So you go to the ground?
We go to the ground.
That's very
we interact with them.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in that program, we make sure we have 2 facilitators, a male and a female. Why? Because we want men to participate. Wasiseme hii ni ya wamama. Unajua kama ile ya shule, mkutano ya shule, walikuwa kitambo wanasema ni ya wamama. No, we want to remove that mentality. Yes, we want male or men to participate in the rearing of the children.
Which is very important.
It is very healthy.
Very important,
yes.
I can see time is not really on our side, and this is a topic that still has a lot to be covered. Maybe we can find some other time and just get in depth of the conversation. But I cannot finish without us talking about the United Nations Day of Families, which is celebrated on the 15th, every 15th of May, which is tomorrow. So how are we commemorating it in the country? Do we have plans on what will be happening tomorrow?
Yes, we have plans. We'll be at Pride Inn Hotel Restaurants tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not as government alone, together with stakeholders. And we will be celebrating families. We want to show the world we have something positive to celebrate about the families. In fact, going back a little bit, this is given strength by Chapter 4 of our Constitution, Article 45. That tell us we have right to promote the family, to protect the family, to talk about good things about the families, the success of our families. Tomorrow, I'll urge people at least just take 2 minutes and reflect back about something positive that happened in your family. Don't think about negative things.
The bad things.
Positive thing. Even one. Hata kupelekwa shule na mama. Hata kulipua school fees na baba. Hata kupewa chakula na baba. Just something small. And we appreciate our families.
Yeah. Your final remarks?
My final remarks is to say that our families must work, and they have to work, and it is the responsibility of everyone to ensure that families are working. And for civil society like Save the Children, we work with the marginalized children who also come from families. And we are putting in place programs, of course working with the government, to ensure that even these children are accessing family care. And it would be interesting to know that the government also has care reforms, and care reforms is looking at removing children from institutions to family and community care. This includes even children who are in the refugee settings. So we are saying, even as Save the Children, we normally say, we want to reach every child, even the most marginalized. And they come from families, or we can create families for them so that everyone is living in a harmonious and supportive families. And this will help us to address even issues of violence, like what I mentioned when I started. So my parting shot would be, let's all pull together. Let's come out tomorrow and celebrate, but continue supporting our families and ensuring that they are happy and nurturing families.
Yes.
Do we have maybe a page for Save the Children International Child Protection? If there's someone who's watching and they would love to reach you specifically, is there a way they can get to reach you?
Yes, they can reach to us through our social media.
Okay.
We Save the Children Kenya in all our media social pages, social media pages. Sorry. Yes, and they can be able to reach to us and ask any question, and we'll be able to answer them. We'll be able to provide even guidance on how they can access the materials for positive parenting.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Mr. Njao, your final remarks. And maybe you can also mention where exactly you're going next, you know, for the program that you've just talked about.
For the program, we want to ensure that we reach every corner of this country. We reach our parents and caregivers. We want to have progressive families. We want to have united families. We want to have families that will enjoy peace. Everybody, included our children with disability, will feel they are part of that family. And we are very sure by 2027, we'll have at least reached 2 million parents and caregivers. If you multiply, assuming we have 5 children per family, that is a lot. Yes.
For sure.
Yeah. And karibu sana kesho.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you very much for joining us and for the work you're doing. You know, families are very integral, as we mentioned, and they play a very huge part in, you know, the overall being of the country. So they must not be forgotten. This is where we end this particular conversation.